Let's talk a little bit basketball. Mavericks and Rockets. We are excited about this one because we get that guy, Luka versus the Beard. Luka has been on fire recently, and guess what? He continues it. Steps back, gets a three plus the foul. He misses the foul, but that's okay because it's Luka, and he's just going to keep doing what he does. Drives past James Harden, gets the lay-in there. You know, Chris, I was trying to find things on Twitter to describe Luka. Luka is fire. Luka is a basketball god. By the way, he gets the assist there to Tim Hardaway Jr.
He's hella good.
Luka is hella woke.
Hella woke.
As Tommy Tran likes to say from the West Coast there. By the way, James Harden did play in this game. He gets it there to Russell Westbrook for the layup, but it was not enough for them. The Mavs go on to win 137-123. This is their fifth straight win. So let's hear from Mr. Doncic.
I mean, for me, it's making the playoffs still. You know, it's a long season. It's only been 1 month, so we didn't make the playoffs yet. So we just got to keep going like that. We're much confident this year. Last year we had Dirk in defense, so it was tough. No, I'm kidding. You know, we just everybody just cover for each other. You know, just play the game the right way, and that's it.
It's funny because it's true.
True that.
It is true. But you know what? Dirk is enjoying retiring. He says he eats ice cream almost every day. He has to suck in his gut now. But let's go back and talk about Luka and what he's doing. Another epic game, 41 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists. He and Oscar Robertson are the only two players in NBA history to average 30-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, 9-plus assists during the first 16 games of the season. Luka averaging almost a triple-double per game, undoubtedly an early MVP candidate. All right, talking about one superstar, let's bring in our own superstars here at HQ.
I like it.
Rajabel Rip Hamilton. I was doing math between the two of you. You played in the NBA for 26 seasons. Do we have the right already with what we're seeing with Luka to put him up there with the MJs and the LBJs with what he's shown in this month?
Well, I definitely think so. I think we definitely got to put him in the MVP conversation right now because when you talk about what he's been doing on the floor, he's been averaging almost a 30-point triple-double. I mean, 30, 10, and 9.8 assists a game, and the kid is not even 21 yet. And the stretch he's been on, especially the last 4 games, where he's been scoring 30 points plus and 10 assists, only 3 guys have ever done that. That's Michael Jordan, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. So you got to put him in that type of conversation with some of the best players that played this game.
Yeah, for this short span of his career, he is definitely in a rare era of player and what he's been able to accomplish so far. The scary thing is he's got room to grow. Like he is only 20 years old, and so
he'll turn 21 next February.
Like, where do you go from here? That is a scary prospect for the league. And we were debating. Earlier we had the conversation about top 5 in the league and then whether or not Luka specifically was ready to kind of take that step and have his team win a championship. And while I think the Mavericks as a whole are a year away from that, I think this guy is ready to put a team on his back and win a championship. He's already got that type of attitude. He's got some dog in him. He's not afraid of the moment. You saw what happened yesterday when he went up against the Rockets. He took that personal. And when you're talking about greats, like all of them have that killer mentality, that dog in them where they want to prove on the stage that they are the guy.
And the thing about it, I asked some guys that are playing in the league right now, and I said, is he really that good? You know, is he, when he comes out on the floor, are you game planning defensively to shut him down? And they was like, Rip, he's that good. He has deceptive speed, and no one can speed him up. Kind of reminds me of like a Paul Pierce, where when Paul came on the floor, you thought that, hey, I could stay in front of me, but he knew how to use angles. He knew how to use his body position to get buckets.
So let's talk about the Mavs, and Raja, you mentioned this for a little bit, maybe a year away from a championship. Let's talk about the playoffs. They haven't been to the playoffs in the past 3 years. They would love to go back. So they have Luka. And we're not even talking about Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, he's there too.
Yeah, sure.
So do you think they could, it's very early, we're only a month in, could they get to the playoffs though with these guys?
Yeah, I do. I mean, obviously they hang their hat on offense, right? They're number 1 in the league in terms of offensive rating. And Kristaps and Luka are a huge reason for that. I do think that this is a playoff team, an upper level playoff team. I think they could be scary. It would be a good year of playoff experience for them in the bank for maybe next year. But I do think when you're talking about trying to come out of the Western Conference. That's where all the heat is. I don't know that they're ready to do that yet. But this year, definitely a playoff team. Kristaps is still rounding into form, if you will, coming off of the injury. You haven't seen the best of him yet. I wouldn't want to play them if I was a playoff team in the Western Conference.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. Luka's making it must-watch TV for the Mavs.
Luka Doncic is absolutely tearing apart the NBA. One of the things that was kind of a bummer to me, I missed all this because it was happening during NFL Sunday. He went off in a win over the Rockets. He finished with 41, 10, and 6. I asked you last week if he could win the MVP.
No, you didn't ask me that.
I didn't. What'd I ask you? What'd I ask you? I thought I asked you if he could win the MVP.
Championship, or if he was a top 5 player in the league, right?
Oh, that was it. All right. So now, so are we reevaluating that?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said no.
So he is. You said no last week.
All right. Who did I say was in front of him? Joe, do you remember? I had LeBron, Kawhi, AD,
Giannis.
I think Harden was up
and
there
Harden.
still. Yeah.
So no.
All right. So
he's still right outside. But I wasn't bad. Look, I think Luka's fantastic. But where I do think I misspoke, having watched yesterday's game, there were 2 parts to the Mavs winning a championship in our discussion. One was I didn't think his supporting cast was ready to help him win a championship. The other was I thought he was a year away from being able to put a saddle on his back when it really, really mattered and him bring you home. I was wrong on that. And I know he can do it through the course of 82 regular season games against, some of the teams in the NBA. But I watched him yesterday. It wasn't just the points, it was the way he went about getting the points. He's a dog. He is, I was wrong on that. He is ready.
Yeah.
He can do it. I don't think that the team is ready, and I think they're still a year off. But in terms of him needing to round and continue to grow into that player in the NBA, I think I was wrong. I think he's already that guy. He's going to need a little bit more help ultimately, I think, to win a championship. I don't know they do it this year.
Do you give him any chance to win the MVP?
Yes. I mean, they're at 7 and what? What are they right now? 7
it's actually, right now, Giannis is the favorite. Who was the favorite coming in? Luka is the second.
Joey, what's their record?
Right now,
11 and
they
5.
are 11 and 5. But they're first in the league in offensive rating and first in the league in net rating.
Yeah. I don't think that those ratings are going to really matter. But if they are a middle of the pack Western Conference playoff team, meaning 4 or 5, and his numbers are as impressive as they've been, yes, you're going to make a case for him for MVP. No question. He's going to be right there in the conversation because AD and LeBron are going to kind of cancel each other out a little bit, right? And you're going to be left at the end of the day with James Harden, Giannis, and Luka Doncic. And he has as good a shot as anybody.
Man. So he was taken 3rd overall. DeAndre Ayton was taken 1st. Marvin Bagley, the 3rd, was taken 2nd. Joey, so there was a story out of the weekend of why the Kings didn't select him at 2?
Yeah, I guess reportedly, so Vlade Divac, their president, general manager, he's obviously very connected in European basketball and has seen Luka play for years, and because of that knows his family. And reportedly, it was not a basketball decision. Apparently, he just didn't like Luka's dad, and there was this is it like father like son type of thing, and passed on Luka. They did have De'Aaron Fox on the roster, but according to the reports, it wasn't a basketball thing. It was just maybe he's going to turn out like the guy I don't like kind of thing.
Like the guy as a player, he didn't like his dad as a player?
No,
it sounds personal.
No, it just sounds like he knew Luka's dad through seeing Luka play all these years growing up in Europe and being around it.
Stop.
Hey, man, somebody's feelings get in the way.
Look, is this fair? If you're a European player, you can't miss on the opportunity to bring in the next European star. Is that fair? Right. Vlade, I'll forgive you if it was Danny Cannell sitting there and Danny Cannell was like, nah, we're going to pass on Luka. Yeah, I'd be like, dude, you missed on that, but ha, ha, ha.
Right.
The kid, his dad. Your European success story over here too, you're not going to take a swing at it?
It sounds like it's personal. For me, it sounds like it's personal.
Well, then you shouldn't have your job anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. But might be in contention. That might be not be a bad take either. Yeah. If that's the case.
I have one last Luka thing. Raja, we talked about this last season, and we talked about it a little bit in the off season, but we've talked about it a lot with Giannis. We basically said last year, he's crowned. He's next. He's the guy. Is there any chance that Luka can start to creep into that conversation as the face. I mean, this kid, besides from being awesome, he's just so like his post-game interview yesterday. They said, "Why are you guys better on defense this year?" And he's like, we've worked hard, and last year we had Dirk on defense, so that was tough. Like, he's just like a likable, joking around, but he's just like a likable dude too. He's funny and he's ridiculous and he's young.
I mean, he is ridiculous. No. If you're gonna make me he's not gonna be the face of the league before Giannis. Like, as long as Giannis continues to do what Giannis is doing, and the trajectory is that he's continuing to develop different skill sets, I think he has an upper. He hit the scene before Luka. He was crowned before Luka. So I think Luka's the little.
I don't know.
bro.
I might see what Joey's saying. Style of play matters.
No,
I think markets matter. You're playing in a better market.
I give you all of that.
But you still don't think he's overtaking him.
That dude is a freak.
Yeah, he
they
is.
call him the freak.
What if
for
he
a reason.
doesn't develop his shot? What if his shot never?
Well,
takes
if he
to the next level?
plateaus and that's all he ever is, I mean, it's still pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I'd make more of a case for Luka in that space. But if Giannis continues to get better, which by all accounts he will, he's still a young player. Yeah, I don't think Luka takes over as the Luka physically. This dude is just physically beating the hell out of people. Like, you just can't do anything with who he is as a human being, freak of nature athlete.
Right.
If you're going to start pairing, and he's been pairing a lot of different skill sets with that, and he's going to continue to grow, I don't even know what you can do that. Luka doesn't just be like, there are matchups that are favorable to Luka's opponent.
Right.
When you're talking about size and speed and whatever. Now, he's fantastic, but the other one is like, I mean, what are you going to do with that?
Right.